Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be learning how to paint this gorgeous sky using watercolors. So for that you'll need watercolor paper, masking tape to mask down your paper on all four sides, watercolors, few pastel colors. In case you don't have, don't worry, I'll teach you how to make the pastel shades. Next you'll need round brushes, pencil, 2 jars of water and a rough cloth. Let's get started. For the sketching part, all you have to do is just draw a straight line that is dividing the paper into two. The upper part would be the sky and the lower portion would be the land area. As the main focus of this painting is the sky, that's the reason we are keeping that portion a bit larger. Next, we'll be using wet on wet technique. So for that, what I'll do first is I'll wet my whole paper with clean water and then I'll mix my blue and a bit of pink to make a purple shade and apply over the wet paper, randomly leaving some gaps in between. Next, I'll take the yellow shade and apply on the bottom of my line on the horizon line. Then I'll mix my pastel orange color, that is the peach color. I'll mix a bit of orange to it and then apply on the white areas we have left. Now to make the pastel shades is quite simple. You just have to mix a bit of white to your orange and you'll get the lighter version of it. Same way you'll have to mix a bit of white to your pink to make it lighter and pastely. You can mix a white gouache or you can even mix a white watercolor, whichever you have with you is fine. Now I don't really like to directly use the pastel shade I have with me. So what I do is if I'm using a peach color, I'll mix a bit of orange to it, and here I'm using the pink color, so I just added a bit of pink to it to make it much more vibrant. Remember, when you are doing the sky, firstly your paper must be wet, and secondly slowly increase the intensity of the color. That is, start with the lighter value and slowly keep on adding the darker value of the same color over it. If you would have noticed, you can see working on my sky area from quite a long time and my paper is still wet. I'm not getting the patchy effect. The reason being, I'm using 100% cotton 300 GSM cold pressed watercolor paper from Mango. Here it is very important that you use at least 100% cotton paper, because only 100% cotton paper would stay wet for a longer period of time, and the longer your paper stay wet, the longer you will get time to work on your sky area. Next up, I'm adding the purple and the blue shade in the gaps which we have left. To mix the purple, as I told you earlier, you just have to mix your blue and pink color together to get the gorgeous purple. Now, in case you find like your colors are not blending in, you can always use a damp brush to mix the color with your paper. Now you will notice that the sky area has completely dried off and the color looked a bit dull, and I really wanted the sky to look much more vibrant. So what I did is I re-wetted my paper with the clean water and then reapplied all the colors which we had earlier applied to make it much more vibrant and saturated. Here I've just speed up the process because we are doing the same thing which we did earlier, just adding the colors which we have added. It's okay if you don't get the exact purple shade which you have applied earlier. It's totally fine. Just make sure that it has been completely blended to the paper. And there are no harsh edges. Here's the tip for you guys. If you feel like your paper has been getting dry while you are working with the sky, just let it completely dry, and then once it has been dried off, just re-wet your paper with clean water and then work on your sky area again. Here you would see like I'm using the clean damp brush to mix the color with the paper. Just do it softly, just move your brush around the edges in round directions, and you'd see that the color would get blended with the background. This would only happen if your colors are still wet or semi-wet. I know the process is quite repetitive, that is, you are adding the color and blending it. You just have to do it repetitively until you are satisfied with the saturation and the sky area. Now let the sky area dry. While that is drying, let's paint the land portion. We'll be using the same wet on wet technique. So I'll just wet the paper and then start applying my lighter green. You don't have a lighter green, just mix a bit of yellow to your lightest green and you'll get the lime yellow green color. Then start adding the darker green as you move towards the bottom, and mix your colors properly so that you don't have any harsh edges. Once that is done, we'll add few bushes on the horizon line. Just take a smaller brush which has a good tip, and all you have to do is just tap 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 using the tip of the brush, the way I'm doing right now. Lastly, we'll add a lot of birds in the sky. All you have to do is just make the V shape. And tada, you are done. Remove your masking tape once your paper has completely dried. Also, do let me know if you liked watching this, and don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys really soon in the next video. Bye.